What's interesting is not that, because he was brought in to be a bridge quarterback, right? Got bridge quarterback money. Based on his track record, he can start. He can be successful behind a bad offensive line. In Chicago, he did it. Brought him to the playoffs. It fell apart without him. A year with Dable and in Buffalo and the whole thing. And he's bridge quarterback. So that's not a big surprise that he's QB1. But Kenny Pickett.
A year with Dable and you give him a fist pump.
Yeah, right. That's it.
And put on the secret cloak.
He's fast.
Like, he's back, you know?
He's fast like Josh Allen, so maybe there's some similarity, right? So you okay, so he's QB1, no huge surprise. Kenny Pickett was supposedly putting pressure on him in the preseason, but Mason Rudolph is listed as QB2, Kenny Pickett as QB3. Harry Douglas, to me, let me tell you what that says. If Pickett was really making it that close, he'd be QB2. He maybe wasn't making it as close as reported. Am I right or wrong?
I don't look at it like that. I think what you have is a guy, Mike Tomlin, who is an old school guy who does things that way. You see he took this long to make that decision. And the young guy, man, he just want to bring him along the way he wants to do it. Now, there's no doubt in my mind if something happens to Trubisky that Kenny Pickett will be the next guy to go in at the quarterback position.
In fact, he's QB2, in other words, right?
Yeah, because I'll tell you, man, I happened to be in Pittsburgh for the backyard brawl on Thursday, and Kenny Pickett was at that game as well. And the people chanting his name when they released the banner and winning the ACC, but then watching that last preseason game and the people chanting Kenny Pickett's name as well. Now, Mike Tomlin is a different type of coach, and none of that kind of stuff gets to him because he's going to do things his way. But watching Kenny Pickett in preseason and watch how he progressed in football games and situational football, how well he did within the pocket when pressure was upon him, he has to be QB2 in my eyes because have we not seen Mason Rudolph already? We've seen Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph has had his opportunity to try to be the guy. You drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round. Now, they decided to go with Trubisky, which I have no problem with because it was his job before training camp started. He did nothing to lose that job. Now, I will say this. If you're Trubisky, you don't have much room for error because as soon as you don't live up to the play that you're supposed to be presenting at the quarterback position for the Steelers, people are going to be calling for your job. That's when Mike Tomlin's really going to be hearing from the fans. Now, I will say this once again. Mike Tomlin do not care what fans are going to be chanting because he's going to do things his way. But I do think Kenny Pickett is further up on the depth chart than what's listed.
It's to me, Harry, it's all about where you finish, not where you start. And I think a lot of times in sports these days, we look for who's the next Justin Herbert, you know, a guy that can come in when there's an injury and all of a sudden exceed expectations and just take off and be in an MVP conversation. No longer can you actually pay your dues and spend extra time in the film room and get on practice reps. You know, no longer can you do that. And when I was listening to Big Ben over the weekend, and Big Ben Roethlisberger was talking about the fact that when he came into the league, since Kenny Pickett is the only first-round quarterback drafted since Big Ben, right?
By Pittsburgh, yeah.
By Pittsburgh, yes. By another team, Max? Yeah, by Pittsburgh.
Yeah. No quarterbacks has gone in the first round in 20 years. It's weird.
By Pittsburgh. Having guys like Hines Ward, having guys like Jerome Bettis, you know, having a veteran-like locker room where he can just come and they can do dink and dunks, HD. He can take his time. He just didn't have to lose games.
He can throw interceptions in the playoffs. You know, right?
Whereas Kenny Pickett's coming in with this young team and the amount of pressure that's put on you, that actually even Big Ben thinks the right thing for Kenny to do is just to play behind Mitch for a little bit. And when his number is called, which his number inevitably will be called, then you'll have those reps and those experiences to lead into
Kenny
you
Pickett's
being the
about
guy.
35 years old, too.
He's 24.
Kenny Pickett's like
24.
Come on,
24.
Harry. The dude is like 30 years old.
He's 24, but he's still
he's not
young
your-
in NFL experience.
He's not your normal rookie. He's
Right,
not your
he's not
normal
a
rookie
normal
because
rookie.
he spent so much
Right.
time in college.
Right.
And that's one reason why I didn't mind if they would have went with Kenny Pickett because he's not the normal rookie. I think he might be, the same age or 1 year younger than, Lamar Jackson? That's something to be said for, and he's going into his first year. Lamar Jackson's going to, year 4? So when I look at Kenny Pickett, though, I think he has the maturity to handle the situation the right way, and he's going to continuously learn. But when his opportunity presents itself, and this is how Tom Brady got his job, right? The opportunity presented itself, and he never gave it back. Here's the thing about Trubisky. If you're Trubisky, do not give Kenny Pickett an opportunity to even get out there on that football field because you might not get the job back. And the difference is, Jay, you're right, because Big Ben came in game 2 back in, I think it was 2000 2004, if I'm not mistaken.
2004.
He started playing in game 2, and they went undefeated. I mean, I don't think they lost another game the rest of the year. And if they did, I think it was only like 1.
How about this?
But they went on to win the Super Bowl, too.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.